Hey everyone. In this episode of ITS Now, we look at the issues which surround what happens when you have to switch off safety critical ITS infrastructure, such as traffic signals, and the mitigation features required to do this, whilst maintaining both user and operative safety. Anyway, I'm Alistair and this is ITS Now. So what mitigation steps do you undertake with safety critical systems if you have to switch them off or they fail? In this episode, we look at what happens with traffic signals and a new innovation which makes the process both quicker and critically safer to implement. During installation works or periods of major maintenance activities, it is sometimes necessary to temporarily display diagram 7019, traffic light signals not in use signs, to ensure drivers understand more readily that the traffic signals are not currently operating. If the signals are going to be switched off for more than a few hours, they should also be bagged over. And in this situation, the diagram 7019 signs should be displayed unless temporary or portable traffic signals are being used. These signs are normally placed on the primary traffic signal poles below the signal heads, secured with a long cable tie or cord around the pole. Care needs to be exercised when using these so that they are not visible whilst signals are working, to avoid drivers becoming confused. It is therefore good practice to hang them facing away from traffic, turn off the signals, then rotate the signs so that they are visible to approaching drivers. Then, when preparing to turn the signals back on, either turn them away from traffic or remove them prior to turning the signals on. A note of caution regarding the signs. The regulations state that these must be reflectorized if not internally or externally illuminated. However, most of the signs in circulation are printed on plastic card and are therefore not reflectorized. They should also be hung the right way up. Traffic signals are bagged over to clearly indicate that signals are not operating. This is particularly important if a portable traffic signal system is being used whilst works are being undertaken. Traditionally, the signal covers are made of orange heavy-duty PVC tarpaulin. These are flat sheets with a number of eyelets around the perimeter to allow a rope to be used to draw them into a bag shape and to tie them into position on the signal. Although these work quite effectively, they do suffer from a couple of issues. At night, it is usually possible to see working signals through the cover, which can be problematic during commissioning tests. The process to install and remove the covers is time-consuming and requires the use of ladders to undertake this. When we talk about ladder access, we're actually referring to A-frames. These are essentially industrial step ladders, but are more robust. These need to be tied to the signal pole to ensure that they don't fall over whilst being used. Obviously, working at height immediately adjacent to live traffic poses additional issues which need to be addressed in a thought-out method statement, risk assessment, and training. Ladder access on roadsides can be problematic. It is often difficult to find enough space next to a pole to put an A-frame up. The ground may not be flat. Also, on unmade verges, they occasionally end up sinking into the ground, particularly if it's wet. Their presence can also block footways, so the implications this poses for vulnerable users also needs to be assessed. Taking on board all of these issues when bagging over a signal head may be in poor weather conditions, up a ladder, next to live traffic with what is essentially a small sail, the risk profile for this activity, not only for engineers involved, but also for members of the public, is much higher than it should be for what is meant to be a safety mitigation to warn drivers that the signals are not working. Elsewhere in the world, solutions to achieve this include the use of coloured discs and backing boards, as well as the use of bin bags taped in place, which cover the lenses of affected signal heads. In the UK, a recent development has seen the introduction of a new style of signal cover. Although most drivers wouldn't notice any difference with the older style covers, these allow engineers to install them from the ground without the need to work at height. The new style of covers are placed onto the signal head by an operative standing on the ground, using a long-handled pole. Once in place, the cover is tied onto the pole using a cord already fitted to the cover. To remove the cover, it's simply a reversal of the same process. Because of the simplification of the process required, the bagging off of signals could be undertaken by a suitably competent Highways Authority staff instead of engaging the term maintenance contractor to do it.
Please remember to like and subscribe to keep updated with ITS Now.
Pedestrian push buttons should also be covered if a signalised crossing facility will be out of service. It is also now possible to fit temporary covers with a small electronic tag, which can inform users with visual and mobility impairments that the facility is out of service and advise about alternatives. This information can be delivered via a smartphone app or specialist Bluetooth device. This episode shows how it's necessary to understand the issues associated with not only the operation of a technology asset, but also what is required if you need to turn it off, and have an appreciation of the requirements to mitigate against this, not only for users, but also critically for the operatives who are expected to implement these safety features in all weathers. Thank you to Innovative Road Safety Solutions for their assistance with making this episode. If you'd like to be involved in our series, please feel free to get in contact. Could I ask you to please subscribe to our channel? This will really help us to bring you further videos about ITS. Thank you to everyone who has so far. Thanks for watching. See you next time.